I think a lot of people misjudge what they would be, what the practical effects of believing in universalism would be like. I have found beyond just complacency, many people fear like the wheels will come off of their moral life. And I find that to be largely the people who are most vociferous in rejecting universalism. Among them, you get a large proportion of people who believe that belief in hell is really needed to keep them in line. And it's like you're threatening to take their guardrails away. But I guess, I can't pretend to know better than people themselves in every case what the effect would be. I do think people probably misjudge the effect. And if you think belief in universalism has bad pragmatics, you might try to keep quiet about it, not look into it, certainly not spread it around. But I see the whole structure of the book of Romans as leading up to Romans 11:32 on what I think is the proper reading of the long scope of Romans, although you get this in smaller form in the other Pauline epistles, that universalism is supposed to be, like on the reading where 1132 teaches it, it's supposed to be something to live by. It's supposed to be an important thing that undergirds the Christian life. God did all this so that he might have mercy on us all. And I don't see the joy of those verses coming through if all just meant something that excludes grandma. If grandma was didn't accept in this life. So I'm looking for, among other things, a reading of that verse which makes the doxology which follows make sense. And for me, if you read it as a universalist verse, which it looks like it can easily be done, you say, yeah, that's how I would feel. What follows that? I mean, it's just, wow, how wonderful. So it's Romans 11:32 through 12 verse 2a. So I'm cutting it off there to keep it kind of brief. So it goes, for God has bound everyone over to disobedience, so that he may have mercy on them all. Oh, the depths of the riches of the wisdom and knowledge of God! How unsearchable his judgments and his paths beyond tracing out. Who has known the mind of the Lord, or who has been his counselor? Who has ever given to God, that God should repay them? For from him, and through him, and for him are all things. To him be the glory forever. Amen. Therefore I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. I see that the therefore as pointing back to, in a way, all of Romans 1 through 11, but it all culminates in 11:32. That's the wonderful thought that it all builds to after many twists and turns through, especially chapters 9 through 11. It builds to that thought which gives rise to the wonderful doxology. It's like, and doesn't that blow your minds? And then you're into, therefore, pointing back to that. Therefore, and then the rest of the book is how to live. So I see, if Romans 11:32 really is a universalist passage, I see the book of Romans is kind of teaching that this is not something to keep quiet about. This is something that should have good pragmatics. This should be the thought that undergirds living the Christian life as spelled out in the rest of the book. For me, Romans 11:32 is like the center of the gospel. And that's like the really good news, I guess, which is what the gospel is supposed to be.